Okay, Chair, do you want to call the meeting to order
Yeah.
at 6:09? Okay, we'll do roll call vote. Sun Chido,
Yeah.
Chan Win,
Yeah. Yeah.
Robert Harrison,
Here.
Tan Kai Hong,
Yeah.
Paul San Lee,
Yeah.
Nam Tran,
I'm here.
Nak Bu Fan,
I'm here.
Man Kong Van.
Here.
Not present, Quang Win and Ah Trong.
He absent today.
Okay.
Absent.
Chair, you have a quorum, and you have 2 alternates that you can move to a voting position.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to bring the alternates on to the active committee.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do roll call vote for motion to move the alternates into a regular position. Sun Shi, Do,
Yes.
Chan Win,
Yep.
Robert Harrison,
Yes.
Tan Ki Hong,
Yes.
Paul Saw Van Lee.
Here.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Nam Tran,
Yes.
Nak Bu
Yes.
Van, yes. Man Kong Van?
Yes.
Motion passes. Next is flag salute. Do we have someone?
The flash. Mm-hmm. Felicia, can I have this one?
Yep. Place your hand over your heart. Ready, begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
We have 4 requests for oral speakers tonight, and our first will be Roger Mindrum.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Roger Mindrum. I've been a resident of Westminster for close to 27 years. I just want to state for the record that I oppose this entire project. This entire committee, this entire commission is a farce. This monument does not represent the city of Westminster. It only represents a small fraction of the population here. It is discrimination against the rest of the population here. It has zero to do with the city of Westminster. The only monument that should be on public land is the first and original monument depicting the American soldier and the South Vietnamese soldier in unity. That monument is a sign of unity for a lot of people. Why can that not be the one and only, the first and the last monument? This proposed monument, which was 95% already completed by another organization, much smaller. The only reason why that monument was axed was because Kimberly Ho, Councilwoman Kimberly Ho, decided and convinced the other 2 council members that voted with her that it was historically inaccurate. And from what I've heard from quite a number of people, the depictions, visually, in writings on this proposed monument is worse of historical facts, depleting historical facts, worse than the original one. And look at all the time that this city has spent, the residents have spent, the staff has spent on redoing all this because of Kimberly Ho. I know nothing that I say is going to change your minds on anything, but whatever land that you place this on, public land, that is just as much my land as any other resident here. Any other renter, any other homeowner, any other taxpayer, it's my land just as much as anyone else's, and you're going to take it from every other resident that doesn't want this thing. Does not belong on public land. If you want to have your monument, put it on private land. And if anybody thinks that this is going to be the last monument, good luck. It's not going to be the last one. The only monument that should stand is the original, should have been the first and the last. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Hung Soon Lee.
Hi.
Before I start, the speaker requests me to do translations. Staff cannot be able to do verbatim. I'm pretty much going to summarize for what he's saying. Thank you.
Thưa quý vị, tượng đài được xây dựng là một niềm vinh hạnh cho tôi là người con dân Quảng Trị. Mặc dù được thành phố và ủy ban của công viên cho đặt ở nơi đâu, chúng tôi cũng là coi như rất đồng ý. Nhưng mà chúng tôi nghĩ nếu như được đặt ở tượng đài mà Freedom thì đó là một cái vinh hạnh, đồng thời là một cái nơi mà phải nói rằng tất cả mọi người, hình như cư dân ở đây đại đa số là người Việt, cũng như tất cả những số người đã rất thích và để đó để một lần khi mà đến thăm cái thành phố Westminster, họ có điều kiện để đến chiêm ngưỡng được tượng đài Việt Mỹ và tượng đài tại cái thành phố Trị. Chúng tôi hy vọng rằng hội đồng thành phố cũng như tất cả quý vị lưu tâm và giúp đỡ. Thành thật cảm ơn.
Cảm ơn.
Sorry. So in summary, he's very proud, personally very proud about this project. It's reflecting of Vietnamese, and he would like to. He preferred to place the monument at Freedom Park, and just with the rest of the other monuments. So he's requesting the committee to consider that request. That's all.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mark Lawrence.
Mark Lawrence, City of Westminster. Good evening, gentlemen. First of all, to the Vice Chair, when we say the Pledge of Allegiance, please remove your hat in respect like I did, okay? It's disingenuous to the American flag and the country that you now reside in. So once again, gentlemen, good evening. It's been a while since I came to a meeting. I've been watching them, but once again, I have to reiterate what the last speaker said, and Roger Mindrum, and a large group of the community does not want this monument in the park. Do I have to say it again? We do not want this in a public park. We are very limited in our park space. We're the city with the least of it. And we have approximately, give or take, 100,000 population in this town, and we're 10 square miles. That's 10,000 people per square mile. We enjoy our park space. I live over by Russell Paris Park, and it's the largest park in the city. It's underneath the Edison high-tension wires. So obviously, back there, you really couldn't see anything, but it's a very populous park. People enjoy the space. Just like Westminster Park, they enjoy the park. They don't want to go there and see reminders of something that happened 50 years ago. When my mom and dad moved to this town, I was 6. I'm 56 now. So I remember when the town didn't have a Vietnamese population. Now, since the Vietnamese came to the town, it's added a lot of cultural enrichment to the town. But you also have to remember, we all live here. I have Vietnamese neighbors. I get along with them very well. I talk to them quite a bit. And they are also of the opinion, a lot of them, that this is not important. We have so many other issues that we have to deal with at this moment in time. And I wish you would listen to the rest of the populace of our town, that we do not want this. Not that we're against monuments. It's the placement. It's the placement. So please keep that in mind, that this is the United States. I was born in England. I came here as an immigrant when I was the age of 2. So I know what it's like to come to another country. I wasn't a refugee, but my dad insisted never would we put up the Union Jack. It's the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Terry Raines, and before she starts, she has something to share.
Good evening, Terry Raines, Westminster. I come before you again tonight with the utmost respect and empathy for you as veterans, but I am very disappointed with tonight's agenda packet. This committee has complained that the city is not moving fast enough on this project, but 6 months later, you haven't done what you were directed to do by the city council. There is no final design of all 4 sides of the base. There is one small image of the front and a lot of poorly translated text with no indication of what will go where. What emblems and text will go on the back, the sides, how it will be laid out, where will the donor tiles go, etc. This group has not operated as a committee at all. There's been no collaboration among members, just a one-man show with Vice Chair Hong controlling everything. Case in point, you rescheduled this meeting 3 times because he had issues. You don't cancel an 11-member committee because one member cannot attend. First, his computer had a virus, then sadly a family member passed away, but he was able to plan and attend your fundraiser on April 10th. You said you needed more time to get proper English translation, but nothing appears to be professionally translated. You sent the city architectural plans not reviewed by this entire committee. Brown Act violations and secrecy continue to abound. As to what is before you tonight, first, the base front. 1, technically the word "and" should be between forces and "the." 2, paid is better than made, the ultimate sacrifice. 3, the English translation of Tun Cook the On, grateful country or national gratitude must be added above it, like the San Jose monument I showed you. 4, English titles should be above Vietnamese titles. 5, the word monument does not belong in the title. 6, the emblems were revised with no explanation, are arranged unevenly and still questionable. A, why was the United States Marine Corps removed? B, the 2 new Vietnamese emblems were added with no explanation, one for ARVN 2nd Division, the other for ARVN Joint General Staff Advisor Special Forces. Neither is mentioned in the narrative, so what are their roles? You excluded U.S. Advisor and helicopter squadrons from the front, but you included these. C, smaller support emblems, unit emblems with no proof of direct contribution or mention in the narrative. 2 Rangers, 1 ARB, the other 81st Airborne, 2 Regional Forces, 3 National Police, and 4 the 12th Armored Regiment. I don't think these all belong on the front. D, emblem rows should be even. E, who will obtain DoD approval for the U.S. emblem use? And F, should have a 12 emblems maximum, not 8. As for the translated text, you were directed to get it right historically and use a professional translator, but did neither, that I can tell. I struggled to read the poor English and found numerous errors. Too much to cover now, so I am provided you each a copy of my suggested red line edits and notes. The narrative 1 is biased, rambling, nonsensical, disorganized, and too militaristic. A simpler, shorter bullet summary would better serve visitors. 2, it excludes U.S. missions and involvement other than 2 sentences that were added completely out of context. 3, does not mention the North's launch of the Easter offensive. To understand a counteroffensive, you must first understand the original offensive. 4, does not mention President Win Van T's hesitation to carry out the mission until Lieutenant General No Quang convinced him it was achievable as long as they had the full support of the American superior air and firepower. 5, sources are needed to vet information. Multiple Vietnamese, North and South, and American sources should be compared. 6, it is not in chronological order. It jumps all over the place, making it impossible to follow. 7, dates should be month, date, year, no ordinals. 8, military units should use ordinals, i.e. 2nd Division, not Division 2. 9, spelling errors. Lead should be LED, not LEAD. 10, the 2nd Airborne Brigade, colonel's name is wrong. It should be Tran, T-R-A-N, not Chan, C-H-A-N, Lick. 11, capitalization and punctuation errors throughout. 12, missing key dates. 13, bad translation, i.e. Iron Troop 17 should be the 17th Armored Battalion. 14, numbers under 10 should be spelled out, as should numbers that begin a sentence. 15, inconsistent format and terminology, and a whole lot more. Much of this also applies to the loss and participation list, which I also provided suggested edits for. I'm not a military expert, I don't claim to be, but I do care about proper English language presentation. So take what you want and leave the rest. In summary, this design is still incomplete, unfinished, and unacceptable. It is too big and garish. I support the project, but it does not belong on public land, period. Not in a city park and not at the Civic Center. 100% of the public comments at city meetings have opposed putting it on any public land, from Vietnamese, Caucasian, and Hispanics alike. Your campaign donations to Kimberly Ho are not going to change that fact. I suggest you scale it down and then look for an appropriate place, either on private property along Bolsa in the heart of Little Saigon, or at the cemetery for the best visibility, traffic, and community acceptance. I wish you the best of luck. No parks.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other speakers? Chair, that's all of our oral communications for the evening. Next on the agenda is approval of minutes. Chair, there's one other speaker that's interested in speaking. Are you okay with allowing that?
Yeah, that's okay.
I need to translate because sometimes. Dạ, tại vì nhiều cái danh từ tôi không có hiểu rõ cho mình sao mình nói cả. Dạ. Hello. My name, tôi tên là Hillary Quang. Hôm nay tôi nghe thành phố họp, thành ra tôi có đến đây để xin dự và nghe buổi họp. Điểm thứ nhất là tôi là cư dân ở đây là 37 năm rồi, mà tôi rất là thích thành phố Westminster. Cách làm việc và cách điều hành và những người làm việc ở đây tôi rất là thích. Mà hôm nay có việc là tôi xin muốn nói là tại vì cái vấn đề tượng đài của cổ thành Quảng Trị, đó là những cái chúng tôi muốn xin City please làm ơn cho approve vui vẻ nhận lời cầu xin của chúng tôi để cho được những cái tượng đài được nằm ở đây, ở công viên này, để góp phần cho thành phố Điểm thứ hai là tôi nghĩ rằng những người đã mất họ đã hy sinh, nhưng mà chúng rất tiếc là đất nước của chúng tôi đã bị không có được tự do. Thành ra những người mất đi bao nhiêu năm họ chiến đấu cho cái quyền tự do của con người và họ không muốn bị nô lệ với chế độ cộng sản. Thành ra họ đến ngày chết rồi họ cũng muốn vẫn qua đây, và chúng tôi xin lập cái tượng đài để kỷ niệm, để sau này con cháu và những người thân thuộc của tôi họ đến để họ thấy cái bức tượng đó và họ nghĩ tới cái sự hy sinh anh dũng của quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa. Thành ra một lần nữa tóm gọn là tôi chỉ xin là thành phố làm ơn vui vẻ và chấp nhận lời cầu xin của chúng tôi để cho chúng tôi được có để cái tượng đài nằm ở đây. Xin cảm ơn rất là nhiều. Xin cảm ơn. Thank you.
Ok, cảm ơn.
All right. I'm going to do my best on this. So her name is Haley Huan. She attended a meeting today. Just basically, she's a 37 years resident of the city of Westminster. She loves the city. She likes the staff. She just wanted to talk about the project that would like to ask the city to approve the Quang Tree Monument project and place it here in the city. Many lives have lost, through the war, and she would like to see if it's been placed here so people visit the city and they can see the monument and know the sacrifices from the Arvin. So she's asking the city to approve this project.
Thank you, Jack, for translation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from December 21st meeting.
We just need to see any comments or any motion to suggest any changes or any approval.
Yeah, I have a comment. I read the minutes, and this one is very professional, very thoroughly. So the writer must be very expert on this one. I say thank you for your work.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
Any more?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the prior meeting.
Second, I second.
Okay, we'll do roll call vote. Sun Chi?
Yes.
Chan Nguyen?
Yeah.
Robert Harrison?
Yes.
Tan Ki Hong?
Yes.
Paul Su Van Lee?
Yeah.
Nam Tran?
Yes.
Ngoc Bu Kenneth? Van? Man Kong Van? Hung Van Nguyen?
Yes.
Conrad Gomez?
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, next on our agenda is unfinished business, which is the approval of the Quang Tree design, including all design aspects such as logos, inscription, colors, and lighting. I will present the staff report. So as you know, at the special council meeting on January 5th, 2022, the City Council approved the committee's recommendation of the depiction and general design of the Quang Tree Monument with pending design revisions that would not affect the structure of the monument. At the City Council meeting held on March 9th, given the urgency in meeting the deadline to have a monument construction and place in time for the anniversary of the Quang Tree battle in September, Council directed the Quang Tree Monument Committee to approve the final design, which would include logos, inscriptions in English and Vietnamese, colors, and other design aspects by April 14th. Due to the unforeseen circumstances, the Quang Tree Monument Committee rescheduled their April 4th meeting to April 11th, which was then canceled by the committee. The committee requested an extension of the deadline and proposed to meet on May 9th. At the April 27th City Council meeting, the City Council approved the request for an extension, and approval of the Quang Tree Monument design is to go before the City Council for their final review on their meeting scheduled May 25th. In the instance that approval is not achieved by the committee on May 9th, the City Council has requested that the committee chairperson attend the May 25th City Council meeting to present an update directly to them. Staff received the attached monument inscriptions in English and Vietnamese with an updated depiction of the monument. So with that, Vice Chair, did you want to do a presentation?
Good evening, every ladies and gentlemen. We be here today because to go to approval of the Quang Tree monument design, including all the design aspects, such as the logos, inscription, color, and lighting. Okay, after a long time, we researched and we have a consult by our advisor and officer. We have the final of the detail of the all definition and also detail of all information about the Quang Tree monument. So, because this is a long time of the Quang Tree Citadel battlefield, so that's why we had to look forward, and we had too many consult by our officer, and also I researched on the many sources, and I bring up to the conclusion that everything I input on the Quang Tree monument design is now the final. All the units involved participated in the Quang Tree battlefield, and also all the American forces involved directly and indirectly. I research and go to the final, it is right. And today, all the logo we put on the front face of the Quang Tree monument, it is correct. I think so it is correct in the final. Because at the early, I submit design to the city of Westminster that all the unit from delegate and also division have a logo in front face of the monument. And the other units lower than brigade and division must be listed on the back of the pedestal monument wall, include everything. After I got some information in the logo from Mr. Bob Harrison, so I put all units he requests, I put on the list, will be listed on the back of the monument back wall base. And also the Vietnamese combat unit, ground unit, supporting unit, directly and indirectly unit, also under the division and brigade, also lit on the back. We had many units under the division and brigade unit from the Vietnamese combat unit, all lit on the back. And I think all the logo now, I listen and I hear too many advisors and consultants that it is the final right now in front face logo. I have include here with five American combat unit logo, including here. Four. Excuse me. United States Air Force, United States Navy, and United States 7th Fleet, and 34 of them. And also the B-52 unit. And in the Vietnamese side logo, I include now on the first course, and also from the Vietnamese.
Vice Chairs, may I ask for the record, can you go from your proposed emblem on the top, just go across from left to right, so at least staff can have a record of what is on there?
Okay.
Just go slowly, so we can.
Okay.
Just go from left to right on top, and then go bottom.
Okay. The top, that's very hard for me to see because it's too small logo in here. Very hard for me to see that.
You can see it?
Anyway, so
Is that the U.S. 7th Fleet?
yeah, U.S. 7th Fleet, and also the United States. That is the Navy. That is Vietnamese Airborne Division. That is the Vietnamese High Commander and Central Commander, and that is the first course. And then Vietnamese Marine Corps, and then Vietnamese Ranger, and then the first Army Division, and the first row. And the second row, it's too small for me now.
Is it Air Force? US?
The unit airport, and your B-52 unit, and then the Vietnamese 81st Airborne Ranger, and Vietnamese 2nd Army Division, and the Vietnamese 3rd Army Division, and then local force, and then Vietnamese National Police, and then Vietnamese armored, and then Vietnamese Air Force, and then that's the that is the Navy, right? That's the logo of the Vietnamese Navy. Sorry, that's small logo I want to see for me. And then now, today, I want to go to the final upload of all the logo I put on front face. And I repeat again, all the units under the division level, we had to put in the back of the monument base wall, including the losses and all the Liberty Force participating in the combat in Quang Citadel. Any comment, please?
I'd like to speak about this. This version that's on here, it constantly changes. The Vietnamese patches, we've been asking since January, since November, to vet them. We have never gotten it. You have only 4 American patches up here. U.S. Army, Marine Corps, their division top, they're not on here. And they belong, they participated. And if you're going to put American patches on the back of the monument, then this doesn't belong in a park, a public park on public land. No disrespect for America. And, since January 5th, how many times has it been said in public meetings, whatever, we're going to work with Bob Harrison, we're going to work with Bob Harrison, we're going to work with Bob Harrison. Well, you know what? Nobody's worked with me. I've invited 3 people to my home office. I met with people privately. I met with city officials privately. And I had some agreement. But I've been totally ignored. You're not getting any input from the American Vietnam veterans. It's sad. I gave you a bunch of other emblems. You don't have the back panel to display here in this final depiction display. It's not correct. We need to see the whole thing. And again, if America is going to be regulated to the back of the monument, then this needs to be regulated to private land.
Comment?
Okay, I have something to talk with Bob Harrison. Me and Chung Do went to your house, and we discussed and we worked together and how we put the logo and some other detailed information on the monument. And then, but I already told you, and me and Chung Do already told you, all the unit you gave me, I include in here. You see on here. So I never forget and I never miss anything on your list. I include here. Respected forces participating in the combat. Look at here. United States of America, without the participation of our combat troops. But there were advisors to the Airborne Division, advisor to the Marine Amphibious Division, including the 10 people headed by Major Gordon Kessler, as well as the best and effective help from the Air Force and troops from helicopter, from the United States Marine, United States Marine Helicopter Squadron, HMM 164 and HMM 165 U.S. Night Marine Amphibious Brigade, U.S. Green Beret Advisor, call in air support. Chitatoris Air Force Mission B-52 from Utapao, Thailand, and from Guam, United States of America, and the Navy Artillery from the Special Navy Troop 77 and the Pacific 7 Fleet Carrier. That include everything. And the list you give me, I still keep in my file. Everything of the list.
So no patches, just text, right?
Got it.
You have somebody over there?
Chair, one of your members.
Any more suggestion from the back? I'd like to comment.
Okay,
I've got the
okay.
original drawings from the original meeting on December 21st. And when we were voted out and you had said that it was all completed with the vote, that you assured us, since we had not seen the depiction and we had never ever seen the depiction, because there was various ones, that the American flag, like I've mentioned before, would be on the left-hand side, but the American units on that little, you have like a little outbreak, and even if you, and then the Vietnamese, South Vietnamese would be on the right. It would not be, all the patches would not be going the way they're going. They would be in a square. That's what you said. And at the same time, Bob being, when I was elected to the committee, I was told that I was a committee member. I did not know that I'd have no say-so because you never sent me anything or asked me any type of questions outside to communicate that it's not, I communicated to you, it's the 7th Air Force, Pacific Air Force. And if you want to look at the videos and the minutes, that's what I was talking about, okay? And the use of American air power. Because the beginning of the conflict, of that battle, is not the ground conflict, it was the air conflict. The air conflict is is the use of United States Navy, United States Air Force, air power, to prepare the battlefield so the South Vietnamese Army, our military, Marines, airborne, all of them, could move forward and take less casualties. And we did that throughout the war, and throughout the battle. And in some instances, your president at the time, too, stopped the use of U.S. military aircraft. And he only allowed South Vietnamese aircraft. And I am really kind of despondent with this whole thing because this not only leads to this, which I've never seen. I've not seen this depiction until tonight. And I've been a member since I was sworn in on October 24th. And this is my first scene of this. I've never been invited, never gotten any emails or anything from you. I've gotten emails from the city staff about meetings and agendas, things like that, but never have I gotten any information. So I'm just kind of concerned, why was I alienated from putting my input into it? Especially since many people do not really know the real impact that we had on the battle. I'm reading what you have here about the battle, and you're starting right off with your ground forces. Any nation that's going to war that has air power uses their air power first before they use their ground forces second. That's basic ABC war. And all I see as I read is maybe a couple of paragraphs about air power. When you have over 2,000 B-52 runs, when you have over 5,000, and somewhere in here I have the tonnage, over 1.1 million shells. That's from the Army, United States Marines, the Navy, and the Air Force used during that battle. And that's why there was nothing left of that city. Plus the North Vietnamese shelling. Plus what the South Vietnamese were shelling. There was close to over 120,000 tons of bombs dropped on Quang Tree. What do you think that place is going to look like? But this depiction where you only have, as I said to you before, this was a combined effort. This was not one did the other. You are like trying to put us in the back of the bus, saying, okay, air power, you were there, but we really didn't need you because we did it on the ground. You couldn't have won the war without us. I mean, you couldn't have won that battle without us. So to me, I was looking to think when I kept this, and I thought, well, you're going to pretty much keep your word. And there's one other concern that I have. I believe it was you that had said that you were going to build some kind of metal type Vietnamese flag. And in the memos there, it says that on special occasions, that particular, you're going to put a special flag up. As I stated to you before in the discussion of the U.S. flag, our national flag, that just make sure that if you do that at the very top of your building there, it cannot be higher than the United States flag. And that is proper flag etiquette. Your flag, nobody else's flag is above our flag. I don't care if it's a monument, I don't care what it is. Your flag cannot be over ours. Ours is the national flag of our country. Okay, that's a comment right now.
Okay. On the unit to participate in the battle is, and I think Kenny put it in already, not in the logo, but in the side already. I am Kenny and Sean go to Bob how to discuss about a lot of those, and I want Kenny explain to him, to contrast more detail about this one before we go to next one. Okay. Kenny, let's go.
Of course, we go on the summary of the Quang Citadel battlefield when we retake Quang Citadel in 1972. It not mean everything very, very much in detail, but too long, over 25 pages and too many sources. Cannot be list all information very much in detail, but we include all the Vietnamese and United States units involved in that battlefield. And then we already include United States Air Force, United States Navy, United States 7th Fleet, United States B-52, and Special Force. And the other unit Bob Harrison gave me and list all in the monument input. So very hard, even in the Vietnamese side and in American side, we cannot put everything very detailed to many pages, many information on the Citadel wall. Very hard. We just list something generally in major. It's not very much in detail.
Then I would suggest.
Very hard.
Then I would suggest you cut back on some of the Vietnamese insignias.
So because directly and indirectly ground force is the most by the Vietnamese forces. Vietnamese Airborne Division, Vietnamese Marine Division to retake Quang Citadel. But American ground force is not involved. Only Navy and Air Force supported.
Excuse me, I never mentioned ground forces. I only talked about air power.
Yeah.
We all know that it was the South Vietnamese on the ground and it was the United States Air Force. Take away that millions of bombs, take that away from the battle, you would have lost.
I understand what you say, because of many information in detail. I know how many tons of bomb on artillery already dropped on the Quang Citadel by the United States Air Force and United States 7th Fleet carrier. Too many things. I know very, very much, like 2 bombs it dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. Very much. But we can list very much in detail. But in many sorts, we can find that. Cannot be listed on the wall of the citadel.
I believe that you can find a way in order to divide this. Not every unit was there that's depicted there.
Yeah, that's why we include on the United States Air Force, United Navy, but that's very much in detail.
For the United States. You're going to put, if you put this on private land, I have nothing to say about it.
Hello, sir. We always honor.
Or make a museum.
Yeah. I always honor American forces help us to fight and to retake Quang Citadel in 1972. But it not mean we let everything, all things on the Citadel Wall, with no more room. But we have many sources. We can come in and look at that and read all the information. It cannot be lit and input on the monument wall, please. We try to do the best and to honor American soldier who fought with us to retake Quang Citadel. But it's not very hard for us to lit everything very in detail, like how many tons of bomb or gallery or whatever. So very hard.
The Citadel was taken.
How many people die and certified for that battle? We cannot list all. We just something like general.
Your president
major.
of your
That's it.
country wanted that battle with the support of U.S. air power, and that was the only way he would do that.
We understand that. We understand that, okay? We understand that, okay? We think what is right, we do it right, okay? It is what it is, okay? Of course, on the unit support, we lead in out there already, okay? Okay, on advisor, we lead the name of the advisor, we lead in the back. The name of the, 7 Marine?
Yeah.
7 Marine, we already lead the name, everything in out there, okay? You say...
Okay, you have, you have over 10 Marine advisor in the in South Vietnamese Marine Division. And also over 10 advisor in the Vietnamese Airborne Division. And everything we lead, everything, all you need, all the information you just discussed, it includes in the United States Air Force, United States Navy, and the United States 7th Fleet and other forces included. We can look by very much more unit in detail, very hard. I always honor American troop, American soldier, they fought with us in Quang battlefield. We always honor. You look, always.
What we're basically asking for is a proper representation of our part in the battle. And it's not.
Yeah, we do understand, we do know everything, and we always respect you and the other all American soldiers are certified for that battle. We always honor you.
I have comment.
Okay.
You go first.
The language here is there's not enough room, so we will limit the Americans. There's enough room for all these Vietnamese monuments or logos, and when you came to my home, I had created somewhat of an equalization of the patches on the front of the monument. And I had a couple of examples with the titles in the center, with the titles to left and right.
Want me to show it?
Yeah. And I need to say that in my speaking with many members outside of my home, city employees, it has always been, the initial conversation is, Bob, can you compromise? Can you compromise? Nothing about your compromising where you're limiting the American recognition. You talk about division and below or whatever it is you're talking about, but we really tried to get a true vetting other than just your word of each of the Vietnamese patches. And in our research, it was difficult because we couldn't find the name, we couldn't find this, couldn't find that. We found a number of patches that were subdivisions of the Army. Or like one of them, when we read about their participation, they were not at Quang Tri, but they're your patches. There's not enough room, so you're only limiting Americans. And the idea of division or above was not a part of the original concept. I think that's being used to limit America.
Did you finish?
Okay, I have some comment.
Okay.
We're not talking about a ton of bombs or 8,000 of Vietnamese soldiers, but we talk about defending freedom. And Quang monument, that very, very like almost 100% that represent the freedom, the defense, freedom, symbolism. That's the main point. So now we try to create it similar to the one we had in Vietnam, include the Quang Tri Citadel wall. So to bring it here, so we show people around. So this is how freedom is defend, and freedom how we fought and we saved the freedom. And you know, all the units who contribute to the victory should be honored, in my mind, I mean in my heart. So look, it sounds like we have a problem with the space. We don't have enough space. You know, I wish we have enough space for 100 logos for all the units, you know, like former police, you know, it's very similar to here. The police is the second largest people behind the army. So, you know, but I'm happy to have just one logo because I know the limits, I mean the space is limited. So Air Force, the same, and Navy in Vietnamese, we have so many different logo, but you know, we simplify to one. So let's define the problem here. Bob just mentioned that we don't have enough space. So what is the solution here? We create more space, or we simplify the logos?
I'm going to mention something to you, so it'll be less complicated. The 7th Air Force was the command, they commanded all the aircraft from Thailand, from Vietnam. The Pacific Air Force Command only commanded from Quang. Okay, now in the 7th Air Force, there are 500 squadrons. 500, I could come up with probably 500 patches, but that would not be the right thing to do. If you, like myself, I was in Vietnam, so I get to wear the patch 7th Air Force, even though I was at a base. You see what I'm saying? So it's easier if you have one that was the complete command of, let's say, the Rangers, the Marines. Like, I didn't particularly see the United States. I had a hard time finding the United States Marines that were there. So I told Bob, we're just going to use the United States Marine Corps emblem. That's it. We're going to make it simple and not overwhelm you. And say, hey, look, we have this squadron, this squadron, this squadron, this squadron, that 5 squadrons plus the Marine emblem. No, just use one emblem, just like that one. It says the 7th Air Force, 11th Fleet, you know, and so on. Now, if we do that, I would expect that you gentlemen would do something similar to it, to cut your emblems down. You don't need more space. You don't simplify it. That's what I'm suggesting, because I could come up with so many squadrons on an aircraft carrier, so many squadrons on an airbase. We'd have patches we could fill this whole room with patches. That's how many patches are in the 7th Air Force. 7th Air Force, like I said, covered all of South Vietnam, all of Thailand, and even Cambodia and Laos. You know, that would be a lot of patches. That's just the aircraft. That's not about the supporting units that got those planes up in the air. they have patches too. So you see, we can both come up with all kinds of patches, but, excuse me, but what you're saying is, and I do agree with you, is that it is a symbol of your willingness to fight for freedom at whatever cost it took. Because during this time, something that's not very, nobody's mentioned, the United States lost 165 airplanes. Not at the Battle of Quang Tri, but supporting the Battle of Quang Tri. How did that happen? The mining of Haiphong by the U.S. Navy. The president, was it Nixon, said, I'm tired of this. We, the Americans, were always fighting with one arm behind their back. We either had to get okays from the Vietnamese or we had to get okays from our military. That's the way it was. There were targets in Hanoi that they would put missiles in churches and places where we would not bomb. And then what President Nixon said, start bombing. That was the Easter offensive. Here again, all this bombing up north stopped ammunition, personnel from coming into Quang Tri that were designated to go into Quang Tri. The Navy in the ocean, they were there firing from the ocean into Quang Tri. That meant that Quang Tri artillery had to be moved to the shoreline so they could fight. So you see, there was more to just the battle. But I agree with what you're saying, is that both sides did what they had to do for victory and for freedom for South Vietnam.
Conrad, I asked you a question. Can you go too far from the past? But I asked you, okay, when American bombed in Hanoi, why they stop it? Tell me. Why stop? They don't bomb and continue to bomb it. Tell me about that. Okay? And don't go too far about that.
Okay, do not go too far in the middle, okay? Okay, I want to answer your question, Romy. So you just mentioned that all the sub-Air Force units you just mentioned about, it already include in the United States Air Force. United States Air Force logo, it represents all Air Force unit. And also Navy are the same. In the American side or Vietnamese side, all the same. Okay. The logo of United States Air Force logo, United States Navy logo, it represent all sub-units you just mentioned about. In Vietnamese also. Only one logo of the Navy, only one department, only one logo for Vietnamese and United States Air Force. That's it. And Airborne Division, Vietnamese Airborne Division, Vietnamese Marine Division, too many sub-units under that. Brigade, too many, 10. One brigade, 2,000 and more.
I think
many sub-units. How can we do it? You just all the American Air Force sub-units, it already include and represented by United States Air Force logo. It's for all. That is for all. It's not very. Bob Harrison sent me a list. All the units must be honored. I did. I put in here everything. I did already.
On the back.
And you sent to me a list of the subunit, American subunit. He sent me a paper. I already list all of them in here.
I've seen them.
Yeah. I will, if you want, I will send back to you. I have in my file.
Chair,
It's not the logo. The logo is different, but also the list he sent to me. I put in here everything. Never mix anything.
So
I have it.
Chair and Vice Chairs, my staff, I would like to make a suggestion to see, just for the committee to consider this. After reading the participations group that within the battles, I have seen some Marines shown in the back there. So may I ask if we just ask an emblem of U.S. Marine on top, and that's only one representing pretty much, all the units that part of the Marines, and that should be a compromise between the two groups. Is that something that can we consider? Just ask a U.S. Marine on top with. Right now we have 8 logos on top. If we add one more, that would make 9, and then the bottom we'll have 10. So there's just something for consider, or something for the committee to consider. So.
As we said earlier that the United States Marine Corps Division is not involved in the ground force, and only 10 U.S. Marine soldiers advised to the advised to the Vietnamese, South Vietnamese Marine Division. So that I don't know how to do with that because it's very hard to talk about that.
If I read this correctly, there's 10 advisors, but there are also Marines, the helicopter squadron 164 and 165, and U.S. 9th Marines Brigade, and so.
The U.S. Marines Brigade took part in a diversionary thing at the Cua Viet River before the battle started. The ground forces, of the Marines. These helicopter squadrons were ferrying in and extracting the ARVN Airborne and Marines. There was a helicopter squadron for the Army that was doing search and rescue and identifying targets. They were participating. And in my original thing here, we had a U.S. Army major depiction. My suggestion would be you've got 18 on your final depiction. Why don't we equalize them and then put the rest on the back? 9 and 9. And then put all the rest of the Vietnamese and Americans on the back if you're going to do that.
I don't think that right, because it cannot be equalized. Half side, how many logo, and left side for American logo, it must be equal. I don't think that is right, because more Vietnamese units, involved in that battle than American forces. I know. We always honor you and all the United States Armed Force, but it not mean one side to many units involved that, and one side, it's not just a half of that unit. How can we go equal? There had to be something right, because it is a historical monument. It's not just for a couple of days or for a couple of weeks, but for long in the future. We had to do the right, and we had to do the. We don't want to hear something in the future that why you do this, you do that, you do that. It's not. I don't think that is fair, and it's not right. I always honor you.
We're looking for compromise.
But it's not. You just say that the logo must be fair, half and half equal, right? And that can be equal.
We're looking for compromise.
Already compromise. I discussed with you at the house. Okay, anyway, so I always listen to you, and also I hope that you listen to us too, because it is for the historical monument in the city of Westminster. It's not just for a couple of weeks, couple of days, a couple of months, a long time. And they will look at that, and they will comment in the future. Why you do this? Why you do that? We have to do the right. I hope that you think about it. We had to do the right.
They'll say the same with the American patches on the back.
May I have a suggestion? So, can we make the logo smaller so we can have more spaces? For example, if the police, we have about 300 men camp, never come back. and the police logo is not there. How do I feel? I can cry right here.
Hey, John Doe, you look at it here. Respective forces participating in the combat. You know how many in the Vietnamese unit here? It not be lit, only lit and lit, but not logo. Couple hundred logo. If we display it, where the room? How can we do? How many square feet on that monument wall base? Not enough. That we lit unit. It not mean we put all over in front. No, I don't think it's not right anyway. So up to you, right? But we lit all the American, involved unit, and Vietnamese also the same. We lit all of them. No miss, no forgot anything, any unit. We had to lit all. But it not mean all logo display in the front face. How it look, son? How it look? We just told earlier at the other previous meeting that logo represent from brigade and division and above. It's not under that because under of the division we lit on the back of the wall. We already discussed and we passed already. We approved already. So why we to go back again?
I just respond to Bob. Even we have a ton of bomb, but if we don't have there, so no one will cry. But some soldier or group, they die over there and their name is not there. How do you feel?
Exactly.
Okay. I have another suggestion with your depiction. I thought in an earlier one, you see the verbiage for the Americans on the left and the verbiage for the Vietnamese on the right in the squares? I thought they were moved over at one point in time on both sides. And on that Colymer front, you move them over, then you can add more patches.
Marine, I agree. I know at least 20 U.S. advisors, sacrifice. So U.S. Marine, whoever
You see what I'm
to that, it should be honored. That's, in my opinion.
Hi, Bob. Look at the losses from relate participation in the combat. That year we have a United States of America, about 20 drop killed. We listen there. But that, all the U.S. soldiers die and sacrifice for this battle, we lit on the back also. We never forgot. We can never forget anything.
There's another number, about 752. But again, do you see what I'm saying here about moving the verbiage over to the left and right on those columns? Then it would make more room to recognize everybody up front.
This is the original one that we used.
Okay, now today, because something if we design for the monument and depiction, we must think about and we look at the art. It's not just display, but display it art, how it look good, it look right. It's not just for something for fun. No, it is the art. The monument art. It's not, we cannot put anywhere too many look how it look. So that I want you think about that, and now today we go to the final because we had no more room and no more time and something we need to do. It's not just argue and discuss, and then later on we had to do nothing. I want you guys understand that. And also we go to final today about the logo of the division and also all the input information. We go to final today. I want them, motion, and we vote tonight for go to the final.
Okay. The on translation done by professional group already. The logo is already Kenny and I discussed. It is what it is, you know. So I want, today is the final, okay, and I'll go to...
Okay, Chairman Chao just...
More discussion is needed.
Excuse me. Chao just mentioned about the translation. We have a translation group. It's certified translation group. It's not by us. We had a company, translation company, certified translation company, translate that, all the information in document. It's not by us anymore. I want something by the third party to translate all the document, all the information we will input on the outside of the monument. It's not by me, it's not by Sauli, not by committee, but by certified translation group.
It doesn't matter about the certification, and it's not done by you. Did you hear the public comments in the beginning of all that's wrong with that narrative?
Your own journal's name is wrong. Tran. It's supposed to be Tran. In Vietnamese, it's Tran, but in English, it's...
Vice Chair, I think you have a comment from another committee member.
Yes, please.
Regardless of who behind the translation,
Sir, the volume, it's out.
we are the people who are responsible for it. And obviously, this translation.
Speaker.
Oh, okay. Okay. Again, regardless of who we hire to translate our document, but we ultimately responsible for the document. And this document will last forever. So even if we have to take a step back to make sure that we do it correctly, then we should. And obviously the translation this is the first time I read it. And it just above Google Translator or not, but not a professional. Probably we need somebody to have military background and good English, solid in grammar, then we can trust them and translate it for us. Because it's not for us. We are responsible for it, but for the community and for the next generation, the people who only can read English, and they cannot understand what we do here. So obviously, there's a lot of grammatic error in here, and the description error in here, and lack of military terminology in here. So we should take a step back and look it over and make sure we do it correctly. If we have to vote it today, I don't know what to do. I want to be with the group, and probably with the big group, probably you guys will approve it. But that will be totally wrong.
Wow. Okay, let me respond to the Mr. Mang. Before we have some other private meeting, we regarding about the Google translation. But at this time, we have professional certified translation group. We do the final. We not go by the Google anymore, long time. So that's why we wait so long. We find the professional certified translation company group. At this time, we did that.
Yeah, thank you.
We not go. We no more Google translation. If we go back and okay, this group and this company, maybe you not agree, and that the other group, the A and B and C group translation, we still not agree. This group will not agree that group. How can we go to the final, and how can we do this thing completely? Very hard, Mr. Mang. This time, it done translation already done by certified professional translation group. It's not by us. It's not by Google. And that is the final translation. We cannot back and forth. Okay, you agree the A company, but I do not agree. Mr. Sauli can agree with B company, but I didn't. So that's why, how can we do? We have to go we already have professional certified translation company already. In this information, it's not by us, it's not by Google anymore. We did that, okay?
Again,
I hope you understand.
regardless of what and who we hire to translate, we are ultimately responsible for it. And we make sure that at least that sound like English to the next generation. Because in here, I agree with Ms. Rain that there's many grammatic error that we have in here. Then I think we should fix it before we engrave it into that granite. And we cannot show this kind of English to the people. I agree with Ms. Rain.
We already follow and we listen to the other comment. We had to look in for and we asked for certified professional translation group already. We did. We do right. How can we go anymore? We're going to go to final today.
No, but
You're not listening. You're not hearing. The professional translation is not correct. We should not go forward until it is correct, because we are ultimately responsible.
Who know it's correct? Who know? The company, I just told you, you say, maybe you say it's correct, but me it's not correct. Because maybe it's not correct. Different idea, different comment. That's why very hard to go to the final. We have to do the thing is right. We don't want, we waste a lot of time already. Just translation. You say it, I say it right, but say it wrong. How can we do?
So what
right?
the purpose, to send this
Nothing.
document?
Nobody has a perfect.
Translate.
Okay, we believe they certify the people to translation. Okay, that's one we believe in. Okay, if somebody say it's wrong, that's one I believe in you. I trust. That's one is that they say wrong. I cannot. I believe that the people have a certified group, certified professional translation. That's the one we believe. That's the reason why we send this one to them to do it, okay? It's a lot of people say, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Do I listen to them? No, I don't. So I just only believe that the people have a professional translation certified, only like you go to the judge, go to the courts. Okay, they believe the Bible is translation because they have a certificate. That's the one. Okay, so you say I disagree. That's a personal only, not maybe just only one only.
Your own kernel's being is wrong. Isn't that important?
So, chairs and vice chair, there are some minor corrections that can be made. That's something that can be addressed by the translation group that they can do. Yes, there are some errors in there. That can be corrected. So this is not a final version. We can continue working with them and have them correct the translation from the Vietnamese version. That can be done. But we're not changing the detail or the script from the Vietnamese. We just want to make sure that they have the translation correct. And there are some errors in here.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Staff can help with that.
Okay.
Help facilitate that, yes.
Okay.
But excuse me, Jed, who will the person to certify it correct or not? Who?
I'm not saying this that certified or not, but there are some minor, just by looking at the translation myself. I'm looking at the names. I'm looking at some of the names in here. That can be correct. That's what I'm saying. It's just very minor based on my expertise, which is not certified. But again, it's just some of the error that can be correct. We can go over this with them, and it's not major changes. It's not changing the whole entire inscription. This is just, for example, the name, correct on the names. Correct on like a certain title. So for here, just one's very big, it's called sub-lieutenant. There's no title called sub-lieutenant. So that's an error. So, and again, like I said, we can work together with them and have them come back with a better translation version. Not completely change the story. It's just the exact translation.
Okay, so everybody agree to move, this one is, to move to the next meeting, to the final, after we correct that one?
No, by the item, it's not whole thing.
What we can approve is basically the bulk of the translation in Vietnamese and in English.
Yeah.
We still have time right now to continue, perfect the translations and the information on here. What we can do, we can go back to them, talking to the translator, and go through those errors or those letters or the words, and make sure they understand what that means, and have a proper translation. And that can be done before we head to the council on May 25th.
You mean that we request the same company, but we correct somewhere it's not correct? That's right?
We can go through over those, item with them and make sure they're aware of it, and they have to concur because they are the one to certify. At the end of the day, they will send us the certified version. Like I said, there's some errors I can catch on here already.
Okay.
Committee, you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with him because we just send this one for many groups. The translate for the professional from English from Vietnam or Vietnam English. So many groups I know, they train very exactly how they are professional. So after we send 3 copies for one of them, and then we choose which one the perfect for the translate, and then we discuss together, and then we choose one. Why somebody they say, okay, this group very perfect, and then another one say, oh, I know this group is perfect. So we don't know who professional translate from Vietnamese English perfect. So I just recommend everybody, member here, we need to send the copy for 2 or 3 group professional the translate. And then we choose one.
We have to pay it.
I don't think that is the right way because we go that forever.
Okay,
It's not go to finish. Never go to the finish because too many company. I think change idea. It is a good idea. We go back to the same company group and we request that somewhere in Terry Rain and mark on that somewhere it's not correct, we go to correct it. If we send to many different companies, it more long time, maybe 1 year later, it not go to final.
Okay,
But
this
actually,
one,
and also how much we translate that? Over $500 for one time to translate it. How many companies we paid for the money for that? So it's not the right way. I think 30 rand, they mark on somewhere. It's not correct. We go try to do that, right? It's correct. That's why, Bob. I think that we cannot change too many different translation company. It's impossible.
Okay, this one is just only the minor, right? It's a minor, not the idea. Just only correct the minor. Okay. Maybe the computer is wrong.
We're not changing the story. We're not changing the law. We're not changing the facts.
So
whatever the story that's written in Vietnamese, we want to make sure that they reflect it properly in English.
Okay, we go motion for that, Mr. Chair.
So we can do that.
Correct somewhere, it's not correct.
Yes.
We correct somewhere, it's not correct.
Right.
Yeah, we go motion for that for right now.
So and then send back to
Same company.
right.
Okay, we probably have to request either a phone call or a meeting with them to go over the comments and make sure that they understand, the Vietnamese version versus the English, and make sure they have the correct, translations.
Okay. Okay. So that's one easy. So everybody agreed with that, right?
Wait. Agreed with what? What's the motion? I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Not a motion yet. About the English translation.
Okay, the motion is translate from Vietnamese to the United States English. So somewhere it's not correct. We want to send back and request them to correct it with the same company.
Okay, so we're going to approve the translation from Vietnamese to English with the minor changes. That doesn't change the content or the story, just the grammatical errors.
Yes.
Correct?
Right, check it there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's our first motion. Sorry, who made the motion?
Okay.
I made the motion
Okay.
and to correct the some incorrect information in the same company at our request.
Okay.
I'm second.
And second, okay. Okay, I'm going to do a roll call vote on that. And that's the motion to approve the Vietnamese to English translation with the minor changes that does not change the content of the story, but just cleans up the grammatical errors. Sun Chi Do,
Yes.
Chan Nguyen,
Yes.
Robert Harrison,
No?
Tan Ki Hong,
Yes.
Paul Saw Van Lee,
Yes.
Nam Tan,
Yes.
Ngoc Bu Kenneth Van, Man Kong Van,
Yes.
Hung Van Nguyen,
Yes.
Conrad Gomez.
No. Excuse me, no.
Motion carries. Okay,
Thank you all.
okay.
And then the next motion that we...
Yeah, we probably need a motion on the front emblems, the logos, to approve that.
Kenny?
If there's a motion,
Can some member make the motion and second a motion? Somebody
Second.
have to make the motion.
Okay. I'm second.
No, somebody have to make the motion first.
Okay, the motion is we want to go to the final approval of the front and logo and detail.
I'm second.
as proposed in the agenda packet?
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I make a counter motion of some sort with the emblems?
A substitute? Yes.
You can make a
And
substitute
shall we
motion.
make it after this one?
No, you can make a substitute motion, and then if you have a second, then we can vote on your motion first.
Okay, so I'm making a second motion.
Substitute motion.
Substitute motion.
Substantive motion, thank you very much. That the patches and depictions get corrected and America gets recognized up on front.
All of them?
When we're talking about all of them, we went through this a lot, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You have your arguments, we have ours. The ones that we submitted up front are all major contributors. And, you know, I'm thinking about redesigning that front and moving them things over and putting the patches on there in an equal manner of those that really contributed to the battle, and then put all the rest in the back.
Question for you. So you want all the 12 logos in the front?
Maybe I could compromise one or two, but for the most part, they're all major contributors.
Okay, it looks like we have.
But Bob, can you be more specific on how many logo that you proposed?
Okay, I'm going to say 12 up front.
Those ones again, just so they can see. Are these the 12 you're proposing?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that your motion that you
Yes.
to place the 12 emblem or patches?
For America up front, and then you get the top 12 Vietnamese on the other side.
Okay.
Move the verbiage over and make room, or make the patches smaller to fit them in.
Okay, so the substitute motion is the 12 American emblems that you proposed here, and then 12 Vietnamese emblems.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Okay, before you vote, I just want to make sure that this vote right now will be for the substitute motion, not the original motion. Just want to make sure, be clear, the committee be clear. So this is a substitute motion from Robert Harrison, and I think second by
Conrad Gomez,
So go ahead and call.
Okay, so roll call vote on the 12, U.S. emblems and the 12 Vietnamese emblems on the front. Son Chi Do.
Yeah, I'd like to honor all the, all the units who contribute to the victory. But in this situation, I would say no.
Chen Nguyen.
Yeah.
Robert Harrison.
Yes.
Tan Ki Hong.
No.
Paul Saw Van Lee.
No.
Nam Tan.
I say no because I think that it not make sense because if we put 12 logo US on the front and then the Vietnamese logo and then 100 logo over there, so that reason I say no.
Ngoc Bu Phan.
I say no.
Man Kong Van.
No.
Hong Van Nguyen.
No.
Conrad Gomez.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Motion fails 7-3.
Okay, now we go back to the original motion. We'll make it by the vice chair and second by the chair. That's to approve as proposed in the package.
May I make a sub-motion for the description on the translation from Vietnamese to English on the page?
Sir, we will make that decision. We were voted on that, so we work on that. But right now the motion is on the floor. It's just to approve the emblem in front. So you want to
Approve as proposed. Who was made the motion? Sorry.
Vice chair make the motion.
Vice
and
chair? Okay.
and chair the second.
Chair second. Thank you. Okay, the motion is to approve as proposed in the agenda packet. Roll call vote. Bear with me here. Son Chi Do.
Yes.
Chen Nguyen.
Yeah.
Robert Harrison.
No.
Tan Ki Hong.
Yes.
Paul Saw Van Lee.
Yes.
Nam Tan.
Yes.
Ngoc Bu Phan.
Yes.
Man Kong Van.
Yes.
Hong Van Nguyen.
Yes.
And Conrad Gomez.
No.
Motion passes 8-2. With that,
So we want to make sure that one more time that the final design would consider the colors and the lighting as part of the recommendations, that the committee have the chance to take a look it over and want to have any comments or any discussion or want to approve as is proposed in your package tonight.
With me, it's the final.
So it's submitted to the city, and I want to make sure, because the committee never submitted this, haven't seen this in the past.
Yeah, I did.
This one was submitted to the, commissioner.
to the Community Services and Recreation Commission.
Yes, but nothing officially on this committee here. So I just want to make sure that this committee have a chance to take a look at this. We can discuss on the design aspect of it, like, the color, the materials, and then the lightings. So we need to have the approval on that as well.
Okay.
So these are the architectural plans that went to the Community Services and Recreation Commission.
Yeah, we did submit that.
Yeah.
So, what is that? Anything else today? That's it?
We need to approve
Okay,
the
we need to
architectural
approve.
plans.
Yeah, they already approved, architectural plan already approved.
Okay.
We sent to the city already. So.
Yeah, so again, I'll repeat, this one was sent to the Community Services and Recreation Commission, not to the Quang Tri Monument Committee.
Okay.
So this is a time now that this committee will look at it, make any discussion that needed, and either approve or not approve the proposed design. So that's why we need to have the decision tonight.
Okay.
So do we need any meeting on the next? No, we don't.
No, we can
No.
do that now.
Okay, we don't know, right?
Yeah.
So is it today, right?
I'm sorry?
Is it done today? Everything, the meeting?
No, it's like I said, there's one more item we need to do. So somebody have to talk about it. So I'm assuming the vice chair, you want to briefly discuss your design on this one, or the design.
Oh, okay.
And then just have somebody make the motion to approve or motion to disapprove.
Okay.
I have a comment about a possible thing here. There's a missing American title. Grateful Country. There's a Vietnamese title on there, and you need a corresponding American title, and the Quang Monument in San Jose has both of them. Up in San Jose, a different one. We need to put the American title, Grateful Country.
I think that
Where does that go, Mr. Harrison?
Tổ quốc ghi ơn, I think so. Right.
Oh, under the, I see.
Yeah, we need the,
Yeah.
we need the English.
Yeah.
We need the English part.
So I think the second meeting of the committee here, we already discussed about the Vietnamese, the Tổ quốc ghi ơn, and in English version, fatherland gratitude, right? But later on, we not agree with English title. That's why we already approved for the Vietnamese Tổ quốc ghi ơn for the second meeting. I recall that. I don't know exactly, but I recall that. So now later on, we change to Grandland, right? I mean fatherland gratitude, and later Terrain submitting in something national gratitude, right? It's something different, but national and Grandland, fatherland. I don't know what one is correct, what one is good. We're still talking about that too. But finally, we got. Tổ quốc ghi ơn is the final title on the second meeting, not the ID call.
I thought that the second meeting of the committee was dealing with retaken and recapture, and that all monuments in America should have a combination of American title and, say, Vietnamese title for a Vietnamese American monument.
Thank you, Bob. We discussed about that, and we want that too. But when we put that on the second meeting, it not passed for the fatherland gratitude. That.
But we need to get it correct. If this is going forward to be correct for everybody in the future, for Americans, Vietnamese coming up to the monument, you need to see the American title.
I agree with you, but we go back to the for the motion to put the English version on the Tổ quốc ghi ơn.
If the chair and the vice chair want to entertain that motion, somebody have to make the motion and somebody have to second that, and then we'll go through and vote it in. So,
I'd like to make a motion to add the American title,
which is
Grateful Country.
Grateful Country. That way we go back to the translation again. So back and forth. So some word we use must be right. I don't know. Not yet. I don't know.
Not enough meaning for the Tổ quốc ghi ơn, because that one is okay. We go to too many people and they say Tổ quốc ghi ơn cannot translate. Cannot translate. Okay.
Can you repeat
Not
again?
enough meaning. That's one.
Was there a I'm sorry. Was it?
I did make the
Okay.
motion to add the American title Grateful country.
Grateful country?
Yes.
On the front, under
Yes.
the Vietnamese, okay.
Well, in reality, I think in America, the American title should be on top.
Okay, I agree to put the American version beside with the Vietnamese Tổ quốc kia, but it not mean I agree with the language. He recommended grateful
country.
Grateful country. Yes, it's different. Only two American here is different already, so I don't know which one is correct. Very hard. Yeah, that way I told you I come back and forth for translation. We spend more time again, see? That will be more delay for it. I know, I understand. I only...
With committee, okay, I'm just going to clarify. Did you second, Vice Chair?
No, I agree with them for put in English version on the side, but it not mean I agree with them with the country, something like
Grateful
that.
country.
Grateful country.
Grateful country. It not. I don't think I agree with that.
If we check on the Google,
No,
and then
we don't use Google anymore. No Google.
No. Let me explain. Maybe he checked on the Google the grateful country doesn't mean Tổ quốc kỳ ơn, but in the Vietnamese language, Tổ quốc quy ơn, ghi ơn, that not mean like this. It mean different. I think so. So depend on the people they thinking about it.
Google translate that Tổ quốc kỳ ơn, fatherland grateful in the Google. I did before. That way, it might input it not recommend it, not approve it. I don't know. That is very hard. Go back to translation again.
Well, again, right now we have a motion on the floor. Do we have or want to continue discussions?
I have a comment. In Vietnamese, Tổ quốc ghi ơn, that's the most respectable word for actually it's the national term, so we are very happy about that. And Bob mentioned about American version. So because on your side, so we don't need to translate exactly, from Vietnamese to English. If you're happy and all the people here happy, with the term that you propose. So I think that should be reasonable.
I have a comment.
I think grateful country is the way that American equivalent to Tổ quốc ghi công. So I trust Bob. Yes.
Okay, I can say like this. Okay, some country, some language cannot translate. It is what it is. You know about that, like the China.
Okay, to me, it's a Bob suggestion. For motion, though we see okay because this monument is a Vietnamese monument, but the American, they grateful country. That means they appreciate that though. So it will be okay for them.
Yeah. Me too. I agree with Bob Harrison about the second. English version next to the Vietnamese Tổ quốc kỳ ơn, but correct and right translation. If I'm right, yeah, we want that go to that one. I don't think any committee member can translate that, but
Bob,
professional translation company.
would you re-say it again? Because with the microphone, sometimes it's a little difficult to hear over this side.
Okay, say again, Kenny. You say again.
Okay, I agree with Bob that we have an English version next to the Tổ quốc kỳ ơn, but not mean that I agree I don't know the country grateful, something like that. I don't think it. To me, I think we had to ask for a translation company group to translate it. It's not any about here because I go different, sound different, Bob Harrison different language and different word. Very hard. That is my comment.
So whatever we agree for those, okay. So we got version for that one. So we will figure out later But right now, we have
Yeah.
to move that.
Okay, so I think,
Is it okay?
Bob, would you want to change your motion that there will be a English translation next to Tawakyung?
Right.
But there's either Grateful Country or National.
Yeah, what about
National
you?
Gratitude,
Grateful.
whatever that translation is that okay?
And,
That can be changed.
See, let me say this. Why is there all this confusion? Vietnamese interpretation, English interpretation, grateful country sounds good to me, yet they have something else that sounds good to them. Give us a Vietnamese, an American recognition here for a change. Grateful country.
Grateful country?
Yes.
But Terrain said that national grateful. They're different.
We're very grateful.
And me, fatherland, grateful. They're different with my language. Okay. I don't know. I want to, Bob Harrison, we want to motion.
Can I clarify your motion, Mr. Harrison?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to approve a motion to approve the architectural plans, adding the English translation, grateful country. Under,
Yes.
what?
Under Tawakyung,
On the side, right side.
Yeah,
on the side or you want it under?
It should be on top.
No. I don't think so. The American English on the left and Vietnamese on the right, we already agreed many times already, so cannot be English on the top and Vietnamese on the bottom. It no. With me, I will vote no. English on the left and Vietnamese on the right. But we agree many times and we did that. It cannot be changed. Okay.
Jessica, that thing that you have of mine, you know, yeah, but like, why don't you put that up on the screen where we have the titles? There's one with two of them. The split titles. No, I can't see from here. Sorry. Grateful country's not on this one. So,
What you?
I was thinking something.
Can you put it back again, please? How you say that Quanti monument on the left side and Tổ Quốc Ghi on the right side, it's not the same meaning.
You know,
It's not the same meaning. How can we do that? No.
I'm just concerned about the grateful country one.
Tawakyung should be the top, okay, not side by side with another thing, okay.
I don't think that is right layout. I don't think so.
So Bob, is that, would you compromise to have the English version on the left-hand side together with the English? And then the Tawakyung, the Vietnamese is going to be on the right-hand side, but it's next to each other instead of either on top or the bottom. Would you compromise with that?
Being on the left and the right, you're saying, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The grateful country going to be on the left, and then Tawakyung going to be on the right. So on the same line.
Okay.
Is that something that the committee will be okay with that, or?
No. Are you sure?
I'm saying go along with you.
So would you want to change your motion on with that suggestions?
So let me clarify. We're going to approve the architectural plans, adding the English translation, grateful country, to the left-hand side and moving the Vietnamese
The Tawakyung just
the right.
on the same line.
on the same line.
Yes.
So that it's above the English translation and above the Vietnamese translation.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second?
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
So the one we have right now, so this is the one, right?
Yeah, and the front view. You look at the front view copy.
Here you go. Can we?
Yeah, we need to make it clear.
So the Grateful Country will be, we'll shift it a little bit. We're going to center it, but the English is going to be here, and then the Vietnamese is going to be here. So right next.
Yeah, it means Vietnamese on the right side and English on the left side. We agree in many other meetings already, right? Sure.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that this is going to be approved. So the English right here, Grateful Country right here, and the Wokia.
Yeah, I split the half and half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Grateful Country must be translated and approve it. It's not, we cannot approve that right now.
We will discuss it with the translation group.
Right.
And then that's something that we can bring back to the council as a final version.
It take time again.
You know, when the translation company was supposed to be involved, I thought I was going to be working with some of this too, but I've been excluded. I mean, my ideas were going to go in it, but I'm not really complaining about that now, but I think in the beginning, January 5th meeting, we're going to be working with Bob Harrison to deal with the depiction, to deal with this and the patches, and I've never been included in anything. Just to make that statement.
Okay, everything now must send to the translation company. We cannot do individual in the committee member because later on we not agree anyway.
Okay,
You know,
Chair and Vice Chair, right now we have the motion on the floor. We need to have a second, or else the motion going to fail. So do we have a second on that motion?
what motion?
You're going to second it?
Okay.
You can repeat the motion, please.
Yes. We're going to approve the architectural plans and by adding the English translation to the left side and moving the Vietnamese translation to the right side of the front panel. So we have motion was made by Robert Harrison and seconded by Man Quang Van. I'm going to do a roll call vote.
And that includes Grateful Country, right, with all this?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, hold on. I want to make sure that clear that Tổ quốc kia, you mean we had to send that to translation group to translate it by the Bob Harrison? Must be
We'll
clear.
confirm it with the translation company. I think.
Yes, so
Yeah,
so that's why that's one of the translation that we need to send it to them and make sure that we discuss with them what is the right or the almost the right meaning of the Wokia. So because sometimes the translation is a little bit different, your interpretation of that can be a little different, but as long as a majority of people understand what that means, and that will be displayed on it.
Okay, roll call vote. Sun Chi Do.
I would say no, because the Tổ quốc ghi ơn that's the most respectful from our nation to the fallen soldier. So it must be in the central. I don't want it aside. So I say no.
Chan Nguyen.
No, I say no.
Robert Harrison.
Yes.
Tan Ki Hong.
Yes, but must be correct translation. Correct and right.
Paul Sao Van Lee.
No.
Nam Tan.
No.
Ngoc Bu Phan.
I say no.
Yes.
Thank you. Hong Van Nguyen.
I say no, because the English version just only on the column that front, but Tổ quốc ghi ơn still center.
Yeah. Yes.
Correct.
Yes. So I've got 1, 2, 3,
We gained
4
one.
yeses.
It failed.
Motion fails. 4 to 6.
Okay. So my next, Chairman.
Is there another motion?
So I'll just say to be safe, somebody will make the motion that it will shown as it is on their drawing here, so at least we have a official document that has been discussed and approved.
Okay.
So does anyone going to make the motion as proposed?
I make the motion that I want that picture and will be represent for Quang Tri Monument officially.
I'm second.
Okay. Can you turn the Elmo on? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so there's a motion by the vice chair to approve as proposed,
Emblem second.
seconded by the chair. Roll call vote.
Hold on. So what is the motion now?
The motion,
To
just approve just like that one.
We go to approve that.
Yeah.
Approve the picture.
All right.
Someone second already? Okay.
Yes, we have a first and a second. Roll call vote, Sun Chi Do?
Yes.
No? Yes. Chan Nguyen? Robert Harrison?
No.
Tai Kai Hong?
Yes.
Paul Sao Van Lee?
Yes.
Nam Tan?
Yes.
Ngoc Vu Phan?
Yes.
Man Kong Van?
Sustain. Because there was a problem with the description that on the attachment 2 and on the page 30 and the one that right now on the screen. No, because we say that in the honor of the Republics of Vietnam Armed Forces, and that is an American ally, and there's the previous meeting that we already agreed that we will change that. However, I still see it on the attachment, the attachment 2 and the page 30. So if that is actually what is on there, then it's totally wrong. Totally wrong.
So let me read. Let me read it again. I think it's it's very small. It says, in honor of the Republic of Vietnam and United States Armed Forces. So not allies. That had been corrected.
So the attachment here is wrong then.
Maybe wrong picture.
That's the old one.
You look at the picture, I mean the screen, Mr. Mang. You look at on the screen, not on the paper, on the page, on your screen.
Over there.
You look on your screen, please.
Your package, page 18.
Page 18 is the new version.
Yeah, I can read it.
Yeah, page 18.
The screen is totally different. Okay.
Did you have the wrong one?
No, because the attachment here on the bigger.
No, not that one.
Page 18 on the screen.
Page 18. Page
Number 18 is the page.
18.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't have it. And
Yeah, on this
Number
one is
18?
wrong. Totally wrong.
Yes.
That number 18.
Very small.
Okay, very small. I need
Yeah.
my eyeglasses. I'm
Very
gonna go
tiny
for
right now,
some.
so
You know, I thought, yes, thank you.
Okay.
That's back.
You're welcome.
Okay, and then I changed my vote.
Okay.
Okay, so yes?
Yes.
Okay. Hong Van Nguyen?
Yes.
Conrad Gomez?
No.
Motion passes 8-2. And
So the last one, I think we need to go back to the design, just the color and also the lighting. So does anyone want to discuss or make motion on that?
I'd like to discuss the concept that we've never seen the rear panel, and that before a city would get the complete depiction to vote on, we need to see that rear panel and what's going to be on it.
If the vice chair, do you want to respond to Bob Harrison on that? He's just wondering what is going to be shown on the back of the base of the monument.
yeah, I already did that by the Vietnamese version and also English translation. And if any correct in the future, and we'll discuss about that. And we will list all the correct information, include participation unit and also the losses of the any side, American, the Vietnamese, and communists. We list all. Involved combat and also losses in the battle.
By the way, because to avoid the last minute changing, I think it would be helpful if we have the translation, the digital copy beforehand. So at least that we have something to read before we go into the meeting. Because it come to my surprise that with the translation this bad.
Yes, we got the translation very late on Thursday, and that's when we sent it out to you guys, included in the packet. So I apologize that that was so late. That's when staff received it.
We need these things weeks in advance to be able to analyze them and not just get them here or whatever. We need to do our due diligence in reviewing anything.
Okay, we try to do the best in the correctly all the historical monument. I think that we try to do the best.
We've had 4.5 months since January 5th to be doing all of this.
That now we still discuss and back and forth, argue about the translation, about the logo, about some other thing. Too many months. Keeps take a long time. I don't think it will be finished shortly in the next couple of weeks.
Do we have a motion to approve the rest of the plans, the architectural plans, the lighting, the electrical?
Yeah.
Yes. Somebody have to make the motion and somebody have to second it. Okay. The committee members have to.
Okay, my motion is I want the committee approve the final of the detail architecture and also include the color, the lighting, and dimension on this packet.
Okay, Polly, second.
Okay, Chair. Okay, so the motion is to approve the architectural plans as submitted with the colors, the lightings, the dimensions, Sonchito,
And the material also.
and materials, yes.
Yes.
We'll skip John. Robert Harrison,
No.
Tan Kate Hong,
I vote yes.
Paul Saul Van Lee,
Yes.
Nam Tam,
Yes.
Nok Bu Fan,
Yes.
Man?
Hung Van Nguyen,
Yes.
Conrad Gomez.
Nope.
Motion carries 7-2.
Know that the committee members, Chen Nguyen is not here.
I'll make a note.
Number 3, background and discussion.
That's already including.
That's all. That concludes the agenda. If you would like to adjourn the meeting, Chair.
Okay, so that's all right?
I'm sorry?
So that's on any motion, any more motion? Is it?
That's all. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to close the meeting. Thank you.
We'll adjourn the meeting at 8:18.
Well, okay,
18. That's a beautiful number, huh?
thank you so much.